This is Milwaukee's 2¼ horsepower cordless router, but can it compete with the Bosch and the DeWALT? Let's find out. This video is not sponsored. I purchased this with my own money. If you'd like to check it out for yourself, I'll put a link in the description and the pinned comment so you can find it easier. Let's go. Before we get to the features, how it performs, and how it stacks up against Bosch and DeWALT, we're gonna unbox this thing and see what all you get in the package. It comes with the plunge base, the fixed base, the battery, and the charger. I like how Milwaukee does that. They put everything in a bag, in a box. I don't know, it's just cool. You pull the whole bag out. This is the carry bag that comes with it. It's all packed in there nice and tight. We'll see what's inside. I think I got a defective zipper. Oh, that broke. On top, we got the edge guide with bars. Strap for the bag, I would assume. Dust port. Fixed base. Man, that looks good. The feel of that it's very, very nice. I like that. We do have the M18 and M12 dual rapid charger. We do have an extra base plate. It's like a dust connector, accessory bar, 2 collet wrenches. We also get the XC 6.0 amp hour battery in with this, the high output battery. Good deal. That's what come with my Milwaukee track saw. And then of course the star of the show is the Milwaukee router itself. 2.25 peak horsepower. Kind of curious to see how powerful this is. It is a good size router. Like it's similar in size, I think, to the DeWALT or even the Bosch. Not overly heavy though, without the battery. One thing I noticed when I opened this bag up, what I would really like to have seen from Milwaukee here was similar to the Milwaukee track saw, the way the pack out had the custom foam inserts. It would have been great to see that here instead of just this cardboard stuff, especially at this price point. First off, I want to go over the features of this router, then we'll use it and see how well it performs, and then we'll compare it to the Bosch and the DeWALT, which are kind of in the same power range here at 2¼ horsepower, and 2 of my top picks for routers. We'll see if this competes. First, the bag. I'm a little disappointed in the bag. Obviously, I got a defective zipper. It just won't work. I was able to get it open, and then the insert's just a cardboard insert. It's just okay. I mean, for transporting it, it's fine. I think they went the extra mile with the track saw, and it kind of set my expectations a little too high. Or they should have just kept my expectations high with an insert. Luckily, I'm not transporting this, so it doesn't really matter. But pack out with the insert would be nice. All right, you do get the fast charger with this and a 6 amp hour battery as stated before. That's good because you're going to need the power. They claim 225 feet, linear feet of routing, I think a 5/8 inch round over on pine. So you should be getting pretty good battery life with this battery and router combo. You do get an edge guide with this. It's a basic edge guide, but it is included, which is awesome. It's a little different than the other edge guides that I've used before. I had to read the manual to see how to assemble it, but once I got it assembled, it'll work. So I like that they included those. There is a better one available for this router, but it's an extra add-on. You purchase separately. Both the fixed and the plunge base come with a plate pre-installed, but there is an extra plate in there. Those are for template bushings. You can mount those in there if you wanted to use some bushings for templates. I like what they did here with the dust collection. I'm curious to see how well it works. I think it's going to work well. It's easy to install and to take out. There is a U-bolt that it slides in exactly where the edge guide would go on either router. You can slide that in, and it actually locks this into place, and then you just take these 2 thumb screws and screw those down, and it's ready to go. And there is a quick connect that goes with that. I'm glad they add that, but will it fit the Festool hose? So it won't fit my Festool hose, so I'm assuming I'm going to need some type of adapter, or Mr. 3D printer behind me will print me an adapter. Oh, that's a bummer. So close. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Just had to give it a little nudge. So now it fits. All you gotta do is just push on it. Good friction fit. Yes! This is the first power on. Soft start and basically a motor brake on there. I like that. I like it. I like it a lot. It does have 2 LEDs built into the bottom of the motor. And of course you get the 1/4 inch and a 1/2 inch collet. Now straight out of the gate or out of the package, one of the first things I notice about this router is probably going to become my favorite router if it has enough power. We'll see in the performance. The feel of this router, the fixed and the plunge base, I like a lot. And I'm going to show you some features that I love about this router. First on, the fixed base router has this hand strap. I like it. And then you can see that this is molded at a kind of a folded over so that your hand fits right under there. This is going to be fantastic for doing fixed base routing. You can have one hand all the way around the fixed base and then one on this handle. And speaking of the handles, they're well made, very much like the DeWALT that I love so much because they fit your hand well. Unlike the Bosch fixed base where it's just round knobs, doesn't feel right, these feel really good. It's a nice textured rubberized coating on here. I'm sure sawdust is gonna stick to this like crazy, but I don't really care. I like it. And I like the black base on red. It just looks good. Now when putting the motor into the router base, one thing I noticed is they made it so easy for us. The Bosch and the DeWALT, you have to kind of screw it on. It's kind of weird. The Bosch slips and slides on. You don't really know if you have it on the right way or not. This makes it easy. You can't mess this up. If you push this back too far, it pulls tension back on this ring. If you just flip it out to where it's loose, it will drop right in place. Push that button and it slides right in. That's just a quick adjust button. And then it does have the fine tuning adjustment here. It's gonna let you dial in exactly where you need it. I like this feature on the TTI brands, basically, Rigid, Ryobi, Milwaukee. I like that they have that fine tune knob. Once you get it set to where you want it, you're gonna push that in, locked in place. Now this thing is tall. When you put the battery on there, it stands up tall, but they do have it all fairly centered so that it's not out of balance, which I really appreciate. But if you look in comparison to the DeWALT fixed base and the Milwaukee fixed base with the battery, you can see how much taller that is. It's quite a bit of difference. The hand positioning is about the same, fairly low center of gravity. It's not overly top heavy unless you tilt it forward or back. Left and right's fine. This one's a lot more balanced. The DeWALT handles are a little thicker, a little more comfortable because of the thickness of that handhold. These are a little thinner. Basically, you're gonna wrap a thumb in there, but still pretty good. I do prefer the DeWALT grip though. Now on the Plunge base, very similar thing. You can't get this wrong. You literally have to put it in only one way. You're just gonna slip it right in there. It falls right into place. You can lock that in. And the lock switch is on the back of this. Now the grip on the Plunge base, it's so nice. I like how it fits the hand perfectly. I like this Plunge base a lot. I think they thought this out very well, including the depth stop, the scale that's on the side. This is metal etched, laser etched probably, and it looks good, and you can literally read it, and you can also see exactly where your scale's at. It has an indicator there so you know how deep you're going to go with each one. So on the depth adjustment, it works very similar to other Plunge base. I like the thumb switch here that releases it so that you can plunge it down to whatever depth you're wanting, and then when you let go of that switch, it stops. I like that. Now on the fine tune adjustments, you do have those right here in the turret form, very similar to the DeWALT. We'll talk about that in a minute. But you lower your little depth stop rod down, you can tighten this up, and then every time you turn this turret, it will go 1/8 inch. So you can lower it 1/8 inch, do your plunge, move the turret, plunge again. That's an 1/8 inch every single time. There are 6 of those in a position. 1/8 inch increments down, that's gonna give you what, 3/4 inch of plunge depth using the turret system. And if you don't know, on the speeds, typically general rule of thumb is you're gonna turn the speeds up for thinner diameter bits. So like a 1/4 inch straight bit would be spinning faster than say a larger diameter. You would turn the speed down for say a 3/4 inch straight bit. There is no fine tune adjustment as far as using this fine tune adjuster on the Plunge base, but that's fairly typical of Plunge base routers. This does have a spindle lock button for 1 wrench blade bit changes, but you can also use both wrenches to change the blade. It just depends on what you prefer. If it's a bigger bit, a lot of times I'll do 2 wrenches. If it's like a 1/4 inch shank, I'll do just the spindle lock. Let's see how it cuts. I have put a 3/4 inch straight bit in there as if I was going to put a piece of T-track in here. I've set the depth at 3/8 inch. I've got my edge guide on as well as the dust collection, so we're gonna be able to test everything at once. The power, how well the edge guide works, the dust collection, everything. 0 issues with power. I didn't figure there would be right through the plywood. It's a very sharp bit too. Only thing to be aware of is when, what I did here was when you come off the edge with the edge guide, there is a tendency to put a little too much pressure on there and it'll cause a little bit of there on the end. Otherwise, dust collection was pretty good. Impressive even. It was a little bit when you first start the cut because nothing is all the way covered, but once the base gets fully onto the workpiece, all the dust collection, like near 100% or maybe even right at 100% dust collection all the way through the cut, just a little bit as you exit the cut. That's impressive and I like that. Now I would typically never cut this deep. This is a 1/2 inch deep, 3/4 inch wide bit all the way through hard maple. I would never make that cut that deep. I would usually make a couple of passes there, but I wanted to see how well the router would hold up under tension, and it did extremely well. There's no issue there at all. For power, if you're worried about that, you could throw that out the window because this thing has plenty of power to do anything you're going to want to do with it. I did a quick chamfer with this router with a fixed base and it worked really, really good. Now the dust collection isn't as great as if you're making a through cut because some of that bit is exposed to the outside, so you're going to get a little dust there, but it really wasn't bad. I was actually kind of impressed with the dust collection here. And the adjustments to be able to get that chamfer bit just exactly where I want it, very easy with that little fine-tune knob. I like that feature. As far as power goes versus Bosch and DeWALT, I feel no difference in power. This thing is plenty powerful to use in your wood shop. The battery is the 6 amp hour high output battery. This same battery comes with the Milwaukee track saw, plenty of power to do anything you want. We're cutting 2-inch thick walnut with it. It's perfectly fine, and this is going to work just fine for most anything you're going to use it for in your shop. On the fixed base, if you're using the fine tuning knob, you're getting 2 inches of travel with that knob if you need that depth on fine tuning. On the plunge base, you're getting 2.5 inches of travel on plunge. So if you need super deep whatever plunges, you can do that here with 2.5 inches of travel. As far as battery life goes, I've had 0 issues with battery life on the Milwaukee track saw. I don't expect to have any issues here as well. These 6 amp hour batteries, they last quite a while doing pretty strenuous stuff. So I haven't fully tested the battery life on this, but I do expect good results with it. No matter what router you're using, one of the main things that's going to make a huge difference is good quality bits. This is from Whiteside. There's actually a 4-piece set that has a chamfer as well as a round over and 2 straight bits. I love these bits. It's about $100 for this set. This is by far the one I recommend the most. If you're just getting started with routers, grab this set because you'll see a huge difference. It doesn't matter if you're using a budget end router or a higher end router, bits make a difference. This should be a shirt. Now at $500 for this entire kit, I think it's a bit expensive. I think that, I mean, we're on up there, y'all, in price. This is a very expensive tool. So unless you're in the Milwaukee line or you're a Milwaukee fan, I don't know. I think your better option, budget-wise, is to go with DeWALT or Bosch. But if you're a Milwaukee fan and you really want a really nice router and you don't mind spending the money, this is a good option. It's just a wee bit expensive versus the competition, although those are corded and this is cordless. So you are paying for that battery power, portability, etc. So if that's valuable to you, then price is not going to matter that much. But if you're on a budget, I think the others are probably the better buy. Should you buy this or should you get something like the Bosch or the DeWALT that I previously tested? I did a head-to-head on the DeWALT. If you want to check that out, I'll link it at the end of this video as well as the card above. I think if you're a Milwaukee fan, you should probably just go ahead and bite the bullet and get this. You'll be very pleased with this. If you're not in the Milwaukee platform or if you're just not overall a Milwaukee fan at all, then I think you'd be probably just as happy with the Bosch or the DeWALT. They're both extremely good routers. I like both of them a lot. I think the Bosch has a better plunge base. I think the DeWALT has a better fixed base. I like the fixed base handles a lot on the DeWALT. They did things right there. But I do appreciate a lot of the niceties that come with this cordless model, especially if you're not having to deal with dust collection. You'll really appreciate not having that cord around. And overall, it's well balanced, feels good, plenty of power, plenty of battery life. I like this a lot.
I like it a lot.
If you'd like to check it out, I'll put a link in the description as well as a pinned comment to help you find this one easier. It's a good one. If you like this video, you got to check out the DeWALT versus Bosch video right there. Click that box, click in the box, get you a big old virtual fist bump, or the Milwaukee track saw. That thing's awesome. Check it out.